Okay, guys, this is going to be about a case from 1972 called Branzburg v. Hayes. Again, Branzburg v. Hayes. It was filed in conjunction with two other cases that I'll mention in a minute here. I just want you to know ahead of time, as we're moving up, becoming more recent with our cases. We were in the 60s. The last couple of weeks. Now we're into the 70s. This is an essential case for you to understand. This has to do with journalists' rights and whether you have specific rights according to the First Amendment that a regular citizen does not have. So please listen up and understand this. Go over it a couple of times if you need to. It's that important. So where it all began, the Courier Journal, a daily newspaper published in Louisville, Kentucky, carried a story published by Paul Branzburg that told of two people creating hashish. And in case you don't know what hashish is, it's weed, it's pot, it's Mary Jane, it's marijuana, it's reefers, it's all kinds of things, okay? It's marijuana, basically. These two people could make $5,000 in 3 weeks in this business. Now, $5,000 in 3 weeks may not sound like a lot of money to you today, but considering this was 40 years ago, that was quite a bit of money. The article even included a photo of hands working over a table, and the caption described the substance in the hands as hashish. The article stated that the identities of the two hashish makers would not be revealed. Now, as you can imagine, this was illegal then, and in most states still it is illegal. Not only the possession of it, but the making of it, making of marijuana cigarettes. So the people who were involved in this crime were not shown. And this is what a hashish field looks like. Leading to the case, soon after Branzburg's article was published, he was sent before a grand jury, but refused to reveal the identities of the people involved in the article. He made a promise to these people that he would keep their identities secret, confidential. The issue in question dealt with whether asking a reporter to go before a court creates a conflict with the First Amendment. The answer to that is no. Okay? If you decide you want to use confidential sources, you're going to have to be very clear on what this case says you can and cannot do. My suggestion to you as your teacher is don't get involved in using confidential sources. I know that many great cases, like the case against Nixon, Watergate, had to do with Deep Throat, whose identity was just revealed, I guess, in about the last 10 years. So they kept it secret until he passed away. To this day, those were the reporters Woodward and Bernstein. Today, Woodward is still writing books and not giving the names of his sources. He gets away with it. Most people don't. So what were the related cases? There was a case called Pappas. A reporter attended a Black Panther news conference and agreed not to tell about it, brought before a grand jury and refused to reveal the information. And in United States v. Caldwell, Earl Caldwell, a New York Times reporter, was assigned to cover the Black Panther Party and refused to testify in front of a grand jury. Both cases were ruled the same. No, They were not ruled the same. We'll get into that in a minute. If you can always refuse to give the names of your sources, but you will sit in jail. Some people have done that, and they have sat in jail for as long as a year or longer. It ruined their family life. There were divorces. They lost custody of their children. There is so much you can do for a principle. But in the end, as you'll see from this case, it will do you no good. You will have sat in prison for no good reason, because you must reveal the names of your confidential sources. So now we get to bringing the case. Who brought the case? Branzburg was subpoenaed by the Jefferson County Grand Jury. He appeared, but refused to identify the individuals he had seen using or possessing marijuana, or the persons he had seen making hashish. The case was initially brought by the Jefferson County Grand Jury. A state trial court judge ruled over this. His name was J. Miles Pound. In November 1970, the Kentucky Court of Appeals, then the state's highest court, ruled 5-1 against Branzburg, basically claiming that he needed to reveal the sources. However, the court determined that Branzburg could not claim the statutory privileges protection for what he saw, because his personal observation was the information, not the source. This is stating that he wanted protection over his source, but actually the police were interested in his information, not the source. When the Kentucky Court of Appeals denied Branzburg's petition to have the judge's order suppressed, Branzburg applied to the U.S. Supreme Court for a review of this decision. So this is a Supreme Court ruling. Branzburg's paper then honored Norman Isaac's promise and took the case to the U.S. Supreme Court, which delayed the effect of the Kentucky court's decisions until Branzburg could petition for a full review. The decision. The decision came out on June 29, 1972. It was a 5-4 ruling. I think I've mentioned this to you before. We don't like to see 5-4 rulings. Why is that? 5-4 ruling usually means that the people on the 5 side are either conservative or liberal, and the people on the 4 side are either conservative or liberal. This usually indicates a political decision, and we would much rather see 7-2, 9-0. We would like to see that the justices agree, because then we can feel a little bit more comfortable with the decision, knowing that liberals and conservatives agree on the law. But in this 5-4 Branzburg v. Hayes decision, the Supreme Court ruled against a reporter's privilege to keep confidential sources anonymous, declaring that 3 journalists were legally obligated to comply with the subpoenas they were issued and testify in front of a criminal grand jury. The First Amendment does not offer reporters a special protection. Justice Byron White wrote, quote, "We are asked to create another privilege by interpreting the First Amendment to protect newsmen, to give newsmen a testimonial privilege that other citizens do not enjoy. This we decline to do." So I am not a reporter, but if somebody were to tell me something in confidence and I were called, hang on, I'll continue this. Hello? Okay. Oh, just pick something up. We'll be fine. Pick something up. That'll be fine. Where are you going? I had Chinese a couple of days ago. Let's see. Well, if you want to do that, you know what I like, right? I'll have, uh, uh, can't think of the word, pepper steak, green peppers and beef. Where? Yeah, where? Call it into what restaurant? E- East China? East China? All right, what do you want? What do you want? Yeah? No peas? Oh, add snow peas. Okay. Add snow peas. Large wonton soup. Okay. All right. Okay. In 10 minutes? 5 minutes. Okay, will do. Okay, bye.